being here, first of all, after all these years, and creating great music. You guys, since Unbreakable 2004, you keep on writing high energy music. How do you succeed in doing such a thing? Do you feel like you go on a phase of a second youth, let's say, like having drunk an elixir of youth?
No, I think it's even in those dark times of the worldwide pandemic, you try to stay positive and it's, I tell you, I mean, to have this project, and once we made the decision, actually, I must say the decision to make a new album we made in Athens, you know, because talked to one of our friends who inspired us very much to make a new album. And it was the evening after the show we played at the stadium, the old Olympic Stadium. What it's called again? The
Kalimarmaro, it's called.
Kalimarmaro, the Kalimarmaro Stadium. And there was a dinner after the show. And that night, we made the decision to make a new album. And from there on, it's great to have like something to go for, you know. And once you made this decision, then at some point you have to figure out, can we do it after all these years, you know? And the answer was yes. And even in these dark, difficult, and challenging times, it's so great you you can take a deep dive in your own creative world and work with the music, come up with new words. Rudolf came up with new music, new songs, you know, and so it's such a blessing after all these years that we still can work like this and make an album. And also, and after all these years, it underlines the songwriting team between Rudolf and myself, that it still works, you know. And this was how we started making this album, because we wanted to go for a pure and 100% Scorpions DNA, you know. That's what we try to achieve.
Do you believe that Mikkey Dee's coming to the band gave you the energy that you needed in order to create the new album, Rudolf?
I mean, Mikkey Dee is a powerhouse, no question about this. A great guy, fits perfectly in our chemistry. I mean, we were working very hard to get James on the spot, but it was difficult for him after a few things in his personal life. So in this case, we used the possibility that Mikkey is free because Lemmy died, and Matthias had the idea, why not call him Mikkey? And we called Mikkey, he called Mikkey, and he was ready because he was a Scorpions fan for a long time already. And actually, when we got our hands on the Hall of Fame in music, on front of Music Center in Los Angeles, Sunset Boulevard, Mikkey and Lemmy and the rest of the band, Motorhead, were there to congratulate us for this special kind of thing. And you know, the friendship was already there for us from White long time ago from Blackburn, when they did our support band in England, 1974. So in this case, we have a long history, Motorhead and Scorpions, and Mikkey came. He was really playing with us, and we felt already, yes, he fits with us. So, and of course, playing then the whole album live in the studio with him was fantastic, was fun, because you notice this guy, he has power, and rock music needs power. If you can't make rock music by computer, sounds good, but has this not the sting, that you need the stinger. So you need the fire, and the fire is not in the computer. The fire is in the house maybe or somewhere else, but not in the music when you record on Pro Tools or what. So in this case, it was fun for us all, and of course Pavel as a bass player, Mikkey and Pavel, they're fitting perfectly together. together.
Yeah, and in 31 years ago, you believed in love, and now you believe in rock. The older you get, it seems that you change the priorities.
But there is nothing against, you know, you can believe in love and rock.
And rock, yeah.
Still loving you. It's what is still loving you, love, pure love.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not a matter of changing
the
priorities. It's not a matter of changing the priorities, it's adding priorities.
Yeah, and exactly, 1 and 1 is 3.
Yeah, 1 is 3, yeah. Like Black Friday, yeah.
Good rock song, Black Friday.
Yeah. You had stated that you wanted to have the vibe of albums like Blackout, like Live at First Thing, and Love Drive, and you decided to work with Gus Fidelman, who had worked with Metallica, with Slipknot, but you changed your plans due to the pandemic. Did you get what you initially wanted, and do you believe that you achieved the vibes that you wanted with the new recording sessions?
Yeah, we met with Greg Fidelman in Los Angeles when we played there last time, 2018. So the plan was to work with him, being the producer. And of course, he worked so many times with Metallica, and he did the last Slipknot album. So our idea was to go for the harder edge of the band, you know, and make a really like an album with lots of attitude and energy, power, many forward rock songs, you know. And so, for us, it was the chemistry between us worked very well. Great guy, you know. And once we started, he was very much involved with the pre-production as well, right here at Peppermint Park Studio, where I am right now. And but then, because of the growing pandemic, Greg was in LA, and we were here, you know. And so it was dinner time for us when he came in via Zoom in the morning in LA, you know. So, and we worked through the pre-production together at some point where it would have been much better to be together in one room, whether we were in LA or he was here with us in Germany, you know. But the travel restrictions were there, and we couldn't go to the United States. And the travel restrictions were just now lifted now in November this year. So, and at some point the question was, should we stop here and pick it up maybe after the pandemic, whenever that might be, or we keep going without Greg? And we made the decision that we keep going because we had a great team here together with Hans-Martin Buff, our engineer. And we felt very confident that we can do it ourselves and put all the faith in our own team, you know. And that's the only reason we kept going. And now we have an album ready to be released early next year. Otherwise, we would have wasted a lot of time and we would have lost momentum for this album totally.
Yeah. How relevant do you think is the message of peace all over the world with Peacemaker 32 years after Moscow Peace Festival?
Yes. The Moscow Peace Festival was the inspiration for Wind of Change. It was like a Russian Woodstock. And yeah, Peacemaker is not actually like a peace anthem, but the subject, the topic is quite the same. It's about, we're all hoping for a more peaceful world for the next generation to live in peace together on this planet, you know. And this is, these days, in today's society, the undertaker, because of the pandemic and devastating wars, so many places around the world, the undertaker is working overtime. And it's about, to all of us, it's up to all of us to support the peacemaker, to be a peacemaker. You could be a peacemaker. You know, it's up to us to change the world and make it a better place.
Do you believe that music is as important today as it used to be? Do you think that if Wind of Change was released today, would it change people's lives as it did?
Yeah, if you with the music, you know, you reach the people straight in the heart, in their emotions, you know. And I mean, a song cannot change the world, you know, whether it's Peacemaker or Wind of Change. But I think it's about the artist community. It's about all of us. We share this world together, you know, and to set the tone and set out a vibe, a positive vibe. And it's hard enough in these very challenging and difficult times during the worldwide pandemic, you know. So we have to stick even closer together to overcome these dark times, you know, and believe in better days to come, you know. And therefore, music is just one tool to reach out, to stick out your hand and connect with people, and hopefully they follow you in a positive way, you know. There are too many haters out there, as we know, and we have to support the peacemakers, and all of us can be a peacemaker, you know. You just got to believe in it.
Wind of Change was the soundtrack of the most peaceful revolution on earth. So, and that's the situation. That's another one on the three, because in time we were a part of it. It was not we was writing about something. No, we were there. We were in this whole situation, and that's the reason why the song became so strong, because the meaning, this living behind the song was the power. And of course, that we as a German band, where Klaus as a German guy were writing about that. So under our history of World War II, and that's the point, that a young band comes from Germany, plays in Russia, and it's a big headliner, big star. So that's the important point, and that's makes the song so powerful and special.
Okay, which Scorpions album would you choose to put in a time capsule for the next generation?
Which album?
Yeah, which album? Yeah.
Which album we put in a time capsule?
Yeah, to save it for the future generations.
Well, good question. If it's a Scorpions album,
Scorpions, yeah.
Yeah, then it should be the last one, our latest one, the new one.
Writing rock believers were living over 55 years with rock and with peace and love.
Yeah, we send this time capsule out there to all the rock believers out there around the world and beyond.
You played together for 52 years and more, and something more. Let's make you quarrel. Which is the weakest point of each other, not the strongest?
The weakest point was maybe the end of the 90s, when...
Of each other, not of your career.
Okay, then my weakest point was definitely when I lost my voice. That was really my weakest point, because
the weakest point of Rudolf. The weakest point of Rudolf.
The weakest point of Rudolf. The weakest point of Rudolf. Yeah, that's a good question. Weakest point. You know, he's always throwing stones in the water, you know, and then he's looking what comes up.
And you, Rudolf, about Klaus in the interview?
I mean, I tell you one thing.
Klaus talks too much.
No. In our history, I noticed there's no weakness point. You know why? Because the weakness point can become the strongest point, and then it's the weakest point not it's the strongest point, not the weakest point anymore. You can put it around. You will always have to see the side where you are at the moment, then you can say that's the weakest point. But maybe the reason why he became big, or I became big, was because we were weak. We were weak. We didn't want to follow the mainstream in Germany, and we said, no, we go. We were weak. We go in a foreign country and became strong. So that's the way how to gamble things, not hang on the weakness point. We use the weakness point to make yourself strong. That's the way how to live and have success worldwide and also your whole life long.